G'day! Lenovo sent me a new laptop to have a look at, and boy did this surprise the heck out of me. It is the new Lenovo Yoga Slim 9. It's a 14-inch premium, and I'm gonna stop there. I'm gonna highlight this word and underline as many times as I can. Premium Ultrabook. This laptop, unlike any other laptops on this channel that I actually review, this has actually given me a lot of looks when I've been around for it. I've had this for about a month now, and I've had many looks and double takes when I'm out about with this laptop. It's just been that cool, not only just by the looks of it, the feel of it, and also the actual cool tech that I've never seen in other laptops that this has actually got. I'm going to quickly interrupt this video because I just want to show you this really cool feature that I've never seen in any other laptop that has on the webcam. Before you run off and decide to click on somewhere else, I want to put this in front of the video so you can see this cool tech. Look for the webcam. It's not this top bar up here, so don't think it's actually going to pop up. I don't see any webcams at the bottom here. It is just invisible at the moment. Now I do have the shutter over it, so it's nice to see privacy. Now it's just a button down the right hand side and a flick of switch, and bam, look at it. How cool is that? It is under display webcam. Lenovo, you've done such a great innovative job on new high tech under display webcam. How cool is that? Now I've had to actually change the theme so it's nice and light so you can actually see it. Now not only is it just there, I'm just going to quickly show you that even under the settings there, I can still use it and touch it. It is actually not, it's not completely grayed out at all. It is still usable. I can still move it around that area there. How cool is that? Now, not only that, if I had something that's actually, and I normally have a black dark theme, so I'll just bring this as a theme. It is pretty much nearly hidden away. Now this is dark theme, but if it's black title, it is completely hidden away. So it does have this nice little LED light just to tell you that it is on at the moment. And I'm just gonna quickly flick it off, and again it's disappeared straight away. How good is that? I really love this feature here. Now I know the actual webcam quality isn't amazing, and that's probably because it is underneath this display, and I have noticed if I just use my finger to wipe it, it does kind of give you that, you know, that sort of smudgy full feel to it. But I think Lenovo, this is first gen, I can forgive you for that, for trying something new. Now it's about refining it even better and putting a more high def webcam than 1080p. But kudos for trying something cool. Again, let's do it again. Bam, it's there, and bam, it's gone. How awesome is that? Just so cool. Now, unlike all the other reviews, I'm going to actually give you the verdict first because it's just that cool. Now, performance wise, it is housing the new Intel Lunar Lake, so Intel Core Ultra Series 2, and like its brethren, has a fantastic battery life and performance, and Lenovo did not calm this thing down at all. They just released the floodgates on the processor there, allowing it to run at its best, and it really shows in the performance scores later on, you'll see. Now besides that, the first thing that you actually see of this laptop is actually its appearance. Now this is made completely entirely aluminium. Besides that, it is a good brush aluminium and just a beautiful color that it's got, this nice really teal color. Now I'm going to flip it around. This is what actually gives you a lot of looks, is Lenovo does not compromise, and they made something different with this. Not only is the brush aluminium on top, it's actually got this glass finish to it, and as my work and colleagues have actually said very well often, is Lenovo, you've done this in what we call the chef's kiss. Give it that extra bit to it, and that's what that nice glass, it looks superior. It does grab finger marks, but boy, I've taken it around food courts, boardroom meetings, and people have just done double take on it because it just looks cool. Not only that, it's nice and slim. It gives that premium feel to it. It just feels great. Wow. But definitely, if you're in a boardroom meeting, you go, oh, people have actually said that. It's like, whoa, what is that laptop there they've got there? Just because it is so uniquely different, both sides of that. But there are other cool cars. Now, progressing on, there is, of course, the display that shouts at you. And when I've actually opened up display, people go, whoa, that is cool. It really is sharp, vibrant. Clarity on it is amazing. You'll just see it is just gorgeous, gorgeous. It's a 4K OLED multi-touch display. It does not have stylus support. That's probably one thing, but I'm not really that, I don't really use the stylus much, nor do it. This is not a 2-1, it is a clamshell. And I also wanted to just quick note that the actual being a clamshell, it does only do up to what I would say, that's its maximum. I would say probably about 140 degrees. That's kind of what it is. So that's the only thing. That's my only gripes, is that I wish it can do 180, but hey, 140, it's just nothing. But geez, this thing is gorgeous, gorgeous display. It's really vibrant, and everyone shouts out, whoa, that is really cool. And it's really bright too. It can go up to a 750 nits. Oh, no problems at all in the sunlight at all. It is a glossy display finish, so you do get a bit of reflections, but that brightness really cuts straight through to it. So wonderful display there. Now the speaker wise, Lenovo did not compromise. Even though it's got a small footprint, it is very small. Actually, I'm going to quickly go back to the actual display. So it's really got a really thin bezel, so thin that actually on the corners, you actually see, if you've got like the top part where you've got the, what is it called? I'll come back to me, which is the title bar, and you actually see some of it being curved and edged away because Lenovo actually really gone straight as much as using the maximum amount of display you can to try and bring that bezel as narrow as possible and this footprint as small as possible too. So it's just amazing. Now again, back to the actual speakers there. The speakers, they did not cheap out. 4-speaker system with subwoofer and 2 tweeters, and it just sounds so wonderful. Really, really gorgeously great. It is. I really love the reverb and especially the acoustics that these speakers come out with anyway. But later again, the video, you'll see the actual test on it. Now, the keyboard is wonderful. I'll always love Lenovo keyboards. That's no joke there. I've really loved it. And also the trackpad, it is a glass smooth, so very reactive and all stuff like that. The only thing I can say with this is actually the ports. It's only got 2 Thunderbolt 4 ports, and I just wish it had more ports, like either a HDMI port. That's probably the only thing I really want as a business to run around with. HDMI port would be great. USB-A port I'm fine to leave without with, but a HDMI port would be fantastic. So that's the only thing gripe I've got, and the actual display not doing 180, but else, what a wonderful device. Now, if you want to check out the actual price of this, I'll put a link in the description below so you can check out different countries. But geez, this also surprised you on actual price, even though it is that premium. Now, we're going to get along with actual temperatures and fan noise, which have been very well controlled on there. But we're going to look at the temperature, fan noise, and some of the other features. The display is a spectacular 14-inch 4K multi-touch OLED display. It has an aspect ratio of 16:10, which is absolutely fantastic for productivity, workflows, and just generally having the extra real estate. And it does have also a refresh rate of 120 Hertz. This display has wonderful and really popping vibrancy and clarity. Now it does have a glossy finish to it, so you do see some reflections. It has a rating of 750 nits for HDR peak brightness, and it really shows when you're outdoors, as the brightness really just cuts straight through all the reflections, and you really just don't have any issues with the reflections at all. It does show up in camera, but I had no problems at all in person and viewing multimedia and working on text or any website. It is a gorgeous, sharp display. Now with the display, Lenovo really give you the maximum display you can possibly do with narrow bezels. It's so narrow that the actual display is underneath. Now I'm just going to show it to you. It's actually going to see how the cursor is actually going beyond that and underneath the actual bezel. That's how far they've had to push this, which is absolutely crazy. Measuring the color gamut coverage of the 4K multi-touch OLED display, it resulted with 100% sRGB coverage, 92% Adobe RGB coverage, at 99.5% DCI-P3 coverage. Now this display has very high color reproduction and it is well suited for professional photo and video editing work. The weight of the Yoga Slim 9 is 1.24 kilos plus the 65-watt power adapter becomes a combined weight of 1.39 kilos you're carrying around with you. Now I also want to make a big special mention about this power adapter. You can see how small this thing is. It's pretty much like a mobile phone charger. It is 65 watts and it's detachable on both ends. It is USB-C, so that's absolute fantastic. I love the fact that it's so small and so light, this power adapter. Lenovo have managed to pack in a total of 4 speakers. There are 2 woofers and 2 tweeters. And when I tested the maximum volume of the speakers, it managed to measure the peak of 84 decibels. Now I consider this in the medium range compared to other laptops, but what really shines is its sound quality. It's brilliant, it's bright, and it's full sounding. It's very well balanced. I did not find any bias towards the highs or the mids or the lows. It's just well balanced. Now its highlight is the acoustics. As I said earlier, it's got that chef's kiss. It's really wonderful and has a really nice reverb. It's just so nice to actually listen to music. I actually prefer listening to the speakers than actually having my headphones on. That's how good these speakers are. I'll actually rate them in the top 5 speakers in all the laptops I've actually listened to on this channel. The Yoga Slim 9 comes with a 75 watt-hour battery, and when I tested out the battery life, I managed to get 12 hours and 13 minutes for the modern office battery life test in PC Mark 10, 1 hour and 43 minutes for gaming, and 12 hours and 24 minutes for video playback on the Procom battery life test. Now I consider this having all-day battery life, so you can actually have confidence to work on this the whole entire day. As for the temperatures and fan noise for the Yoga Slim 9, when I took my measurement, the ambient temperature room was 20 degrees Celsius. And just to give you a rough idea of how cool or how hot this laptop could be, my hand measured an average of about 36 degrees Celsius at this room temperature. So I took my base measure when the computer was idle and the hottest air around the keyboard measured a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan noise, it pretty much stayed silent at 35 decibels and the average internal core temperature was 36 degrees Celsius. Then I put 20% load on the computer to light tasks like office productivity work, surfing web, streaming videos, and the hottest area around the keyboard measured a maximum of 32 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan, it did spin up but barely audible and reached a maximum peak of 36 decibels and the average internal core temperature was 45 degrees Celsius. Then I put 50% load on the computer and the hottest air around the keyboard measured a maximum of 35 degrees Celsius. And as for the fan, it did spin up all the way to a maximum of 38 decibels and the average internal core temperature was 55 degrees Celsius. Then I put 100% load on all the system resources and the hottest air around the keyboard measured a maximum of 36 degrees Celsius, which is not hot at all. It's about the same temperature as my hand. As for the fan noise, it actually reached a maximum peak of 40 decibels and the average internal core temperature was 60 degrees Celsius. Then I put the computer in performance mode in the Lenovo Vantage to allow the computer to run at its maximum potential with the 100% utilization on all the system resources. It reached a peak of 38 degrees Celsius on the keyboard, and as for the fan noise, it spun all out to a maximum of 45 decibels and the average internal core temperature was 69 degrees Celsius. I also measured the bottom back cover while maintaining 100% load on all the system resources, and the hottest air around the bottom back cover measured a maximum of 44 degrees Celsius. And of course the fan noise stayed at 45 decibels. Overall, generally, this Yoga Slim 9 is very cool. You barely actually hear much of the fan, and even at 100% load, it's actually not that noticeable at all. And I am just amazed by the temperatures from this. And also, you can see that is very well controlled for the actual internal core temperatures. and I do know that Lenovo really pushes maximum. So Intel's done a great job on this as well. Now, construction wise, as I mentioned before, the start is made entirely out of aluminium. I really love this blueness into it, and the top has got that glass finish to it. Now, I am not going to do my usual bend and flex test because quite simply this is glass, so I do not want to crack it. I have a feeling it might crack, but it's taking a fair bit of beating. Like, you know, I'm really hitting it quite hard as well too, but still I'm not going to try and bend it. It is glass after all. Consider like a phone, don't do that. But geez, it can take still quite a bit of beating and some scratches. Like, it took a fair bit, but I'm not going to try and do the bend test anyway. But what I will do is just do the keyboard to see how it goes. And I do know there is a fan in there, and I don't hear it snipping or anything like that. Again, this is well made, so well done on the construction. Now, I do want to do the hinge test, as a lot of people do like the hinge test and just find it, and I can tell you straight away, this is the one finger. It is smooth and effortless to do this. This is great. Again, it does about, well, I'll say 140 degrees. It's my only gripe about it. It's just I wish I had 180 degrees, but hey, that's me. But man, this thing is really well done, this hinge here. So one finger, and I like the fact the top part, you can just lift it there, and then it's just smooth all the way through. It's the same pressure all the way through, which is great here. Now I'm just going to do the wiggle test as I always do, and it is clamping very well. So the magnets are doing well, the hinge is doing well. This is just premium, and Lenovo have actually taken very good care on the hinge. This is a recording from the 1080p webcam from the Lenovo Yoga Slim 9. This is the video and audio and editors can hear and see what the quality webcam is like. And as always with this webcam test, I've got two top slits currently turned on. I've got my one strip light turned on, and also the downlights and mirrors turned on for ambience. I'm going to turn off my one strip light off. You'll see this adjust. It actually adjusts very quickly, bringing up the exposure and the shadows. Now the two downlights in front of me is a bit far away, so there's not much light hitting on my face. This is what I consider a dark environment. If you're in an office environment, you should have much more light than what I'm currently at. I'll turn my one strip light back on. Of course, better quality light should give you better quality picture. Now, even though this has really cool tech of under display webcam, I just find that actually the resolution, and it is 1080p webcam, it's just a little bit lower quality. I feel that it sounds and also looks like a 720p webcam. That's just what my thoughts is. So this is an area that Lenovo could improve on. I know this is first gen. I still love the under display webcam. It's a really cool idea, and I really hope for Lenovo to continue pursuing this webcam and just bring up the quality of the actual picture. Now I have cleaned the glass as much as I can with glass cleaner, so this is clear as it can actually possibly be. Here's the results of benchmarks performed on the Yoga Slim 9. Here's the results for Pass Mark, City Bench 2024, PC Mark, 3D Mark, Cross Mark, Crystal Disk Mark, Geekbench 6, Procon Office, Procon MPU, Procon Machine Learning, Procon Photo Edit, Procon Video Edit, Puget Photoshop, Puget Premiere Pro, Puget DaVinci Resolve, Blender, Luxmark, Furmark, Eugene Engine, SpecView Prep 2020, and some gaming benchmarks like Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Far Cry 6, Cyberpunk 2077, Forza 5, F1 2024, and Wukong Black Myth. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. I'm just going to make a final remarks. Again, first, I just really want to highlight and give Lenovo a massive shout out and big pat on the back for trying something different. That really innovative under the display webcam is really, for me, I've never seen it before in a laptop. I've seen it before in a mobile phone, but under a laptop, wow, that is really cool. Thank you for trying something different. I know the actual, probably the resolution wasn't amazing or just clarity. I think it's just because sometimes I wipe with my fingers, but hey, I love to see a little bit better clarity of it, but geez, I love the fact that you've tried something different, and I think it does well being first generation. I just really love, and I would like to see Lenovo continue pursuing that, because that is really cool. And I just think it's a great form factor not to have the webcam being shown only when it's needed. That is really cool on demand. So Lenovo, well done there. But this whole entire Lenovo Yoga Slim 9, such a premium. As I said, I like to highlight the premiumness of this. It has just given me so many good looks from so many people, and so many people have commented when I've actually taken it out and about, and me working at it, it just stopped and they're just like, whoa, that kind of laptop is that. That is just shows you proof that this laptop really is wowzers. Every part of it. I haven't really been able to fold it, besides I like to see HDMI port and the ability to do 180 degrees for the hinge. Besides that, wow, this thing is just amazing. It ticks so many boxes. You know, performance, battery life, looks, slimness, weight has been tested fantastically. Speakers sounds great. Keyboard, I love it. Trackpad does fold well. It is just a nice computer, and even the price is actually fantastic. I was actually expecting it to be way more than when I get it, as when I do the review. So well done, Lenovo. Give yourself a pat on that, and then do it again, because you deserve another one. So great job, Lenovo. Now I hope you find this video informative and enjoyed it. If you did, even support my channel, smash that like button for me, share this video, it does help me out. And as always, imperfections in life makes you beautiful and interesting. And I'll see you next video.